Today is a new year. We are all gathered here to celebrate the New Yam Festival. The topic Afikpo Ikeji Ehugbo as a metaphor for sustainable community development. The question we have to ask ourselves, what should we know about yam? Some of us feel that yam is only celebrated by the Igbo people. It is not so. Yam is indigenous to West Africa and some parts of Asia. And we have about 800 identified species of yam. Some were imported, some are indigenous to us. Outside that, yam is also considered as the king of all crops in Igbo. The king of all crops. What does it mean? It means that yam was a little bit exalted above other crops. Why? It is the only crop that a deity was instituted in its honor. The name of that deity is called Njokuji. And that is why Ndị Ehugbo will always say, ihe ọbụla mere n'ubi ajụ Njokuji. Because it is the god of the yam that is supposed to guide and cause the yams to the farmers to laugh. Because Njokuji will give room for a fat and bounty harvest. Outside yam being the king of all crops, yam is also exalted n'ala Igbo, n'ala Ehugbo, because there is nothing any Ehugbo man will do without yam. Is it title picking? Yam is there. Is it marriage? Yam is there. Is it masquerade festival? Yam is there. I will give us a story of what happened during the masquerade festivals. Oshiro Brozo, masquerade go round the different Isogos in Ehugbo. The praise singer, also known as Afikpo, who introduces the masquerade, was following the masquerade from Isogo to Isogo. Any Isogo Ruru. The elders, the friends, and the people of the masquerade will come out and present yam to their fellow or brother who they are celebrating. The people will move from Itim, Jegohisu, Jege Bogoro, and other places. When he was terminating, he recorded his frustration in a song. Agami Bogankalo, or the game of Golaji in that time. That is to tell you how important yam is to the people. Outside that, the reason why we are gathered here is yam is all encompassing. Ahụhụ Ehugbo bidoro taa. Yorusu echi ya madu metere unu ekele si ekele. Eje nje iri ji. It is expected that na okwu ya madu mere, the new yam celebration will bring peace. And that is the reason why in some Igbo communities, Ojeje iri ji enekwe peace week. What does peace week mean? This week means that Amaga logo. There will be absolute peace in every household. Chinua Achebe told us in his book. Okonkwo anọrọ na peace week. Jegide nye yetie ye kpakpakpa. near Yeti. The community heard about it that Okonkwo be the wife. Now this week, the priest of that community is Oruneje Okonkwo. Okonkwo will the chief priest here, we will touch it and say, I am not going to eat kola nut from the house of a man who does not respect our ancestors and our gods. We touch again. That is to tell you the importance of yam. We go historical. What is the origin of yam? How does yam evolve? And why did it take this exalted position? Abiana Igbo, we have different stories, histories about how yam originated in different communities. But we came to the conclusion with two hypotheses. Number one, Ufode said that yam was given to humanity directly from God. Then another hypothesis about that, it was a process of experiment. Now people on Oruneje are white yam. They experimented picking it. That yam is good. Now, time or then, I will pick some communities in Igbo land. We have different names we call New Yam Festival celebration. In Onitsha Axis, Monekwe Ofala. Imo Okiwe Axis, Monekwe Ahiajoko, Ifejoko, Ihejoko. Ehugbo, Arochukwu, Eda Igbere Axis, Neku Ikeji or Iriji. Omonde Neku Omasato. Ndabakeleke area, Ojiji and the rest of them. We have different names, different communities in Igbo land called New Yam Festival. But that is as it may. Now Ijipule Onitsha. How did it happen in Onitsha? Their own say that it was based on experiment, not God factor. That no more there was plenty hunger. The Obi of Onitsha, afraid that his people will die, I hope something there they go, later called yam. They were afraid, perhaps, I hear this thing, we may die. As okay, communities should be eating this yam. This community, we will go to the next community. The Obi was afraid. The community the following day, community B, the third day, another community, the fourth day, as if no, Philo said no voila. God has given us something that we as such our test. It is that period of waiting. Behave the Obi of Onitsha Korozuro and say, God has given us food. Come, let us celebrate. Come, let us rejoice. That is the origin of Ofala. Onabo based on experiment. Time will not permit me to take Nkenri, Nkohashi. But let us come home. Ehugbo also have two hypotheses on the origin of yam. Number one, the God factor, exemplified by the story of Norioti Momo, and the Nkano version. Once upon a time, I say that there was Omo in Ehugbo land. Norioti Momo, who was said to be the younger sister of Igbo, communicated with Obasinelu, and Obasinelu told him, for your request to be granted, this is what you will do. After all this, she called the 7 daughters of the brother, Nkeneku Alosha Imagorian, said, I will volunteer my son. And that was how she sacrificed the son so that good or edible yam will come up. And God warned her. and you must at all time accord respect to Yam. We had a problem during the 2022 Ikeji Ikeji lecture. We nominated a woman professor to be the speaker, but we are afraid. Does Ehugbo community allow women to speak during the Ikeji lectures? We say, okay, let's consult our elders. I need to put Rikweri Namizu, Rikweri Agwanego. This is what we have proposed. What do you say? He went historical. Nagba, the story of say no. Women have greater role to play in New Year festival than even men. He also narrated the story of how Yam originated in Ehugbo through woman. We got another variant, which is called experiment. Another story of how Yam originated in Ehugbo. But no, a community in Ikenna or Yankalo that they had the Elon, they were the first experiment on what Yam is. They domesticated it, ate it, and now transported it to the rest of Ehugbo. And that till date, now that community, they won a deity priest called Eleri. These are the two variants of the origin of Yam in Ehugbo. Based on that, we have a lot of stories, a lot of processes. Yam Nagabuge. The processes of coming together and fixing the date. And remember that Yam is as important as being the only thing that will cause a Eke market to close for one day. There is no other thing that will force Ikeji Ehugbo to say Ayamagazu except Yam. We will talk about other processes, but the most important thing in Ikeji, we will talk about Ivonko because our culture is fastly vanishing.
Eroding.
Good. If we don't discuss it here, most elders here may not really know the significance or importance of Ivu Ikeji. If you ask somebody, Ikeji and Ivu like this, what does it mean? What does it signify? The person may not know. But this lecture will afford us the opportunity. And that was the reason why most of our cultures were sort of not appealing to the early missionaries, and some churches took it because nobody explained to them that New Yam Festival is a period of Thanksgiving. God, Obasinelu, this is now the period of plenty. We give you thanks and we pray. Now, nobody will die because of hunger. That you will continue to give us crops, especially yam. Why do we insist? Why did our elders institute Ivu Ikeji? And we identify three factors or three reasons. Number one is respect.
My dog.
Number two is loyalty. Number three is friendship. Does New Yam Festival still have relevance? Does this still have relevance? Is the question here to celebrate. We are gathered here to give thanks to God. We are gathered here to say, Obasinelu, from September down to August, Usu New Year, nobody died out of hunger. We appreciate what you have done. We are gathered here because Ikeji is also used as metaphor for development. After New Year, we will drink, we will eat. We talk about bridges that do rather. Ayarusha. We talk about Opo Engemu Gemedwenumwe. It is on that note that I will say to this year, our guests, our governor, all the friends of Ehugbo occasionally, Happy New Year and Happy New Yam Festival.
And I go back here. Put your hands together for our associate prof, our dear son, a scholar of international recognition. Our own son, this man, Ikenna. The guy, what's the record of my hand? Oh, yeah, but I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. Also, we are